Show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
We've heard that saying before. I've said that to my children. I've said that to the Marines I trained and mentored. I've said that to the scholars I teach.
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
Submitted for your approval. Some of the many friends that have hung around Donald John Trump. Steve Bannon, convicted. One of Trump's former advisors, Bannon was sentenced to 4 months in prison in 2022 for contempt of Congress for defying a subpoena for January 6th Select Committee. However, Bannon's sentence has been put on hold pending appeal. Peter Navarro, convicted. The former Trump advisor was sentenced to 4 months in prison in January after being convicted of contempt of Congress for likewise defying a subpoena from the January 6th Select Committee. He reported to prison on Tuesday after the Supreme Court rejected his bid to remain free pending appeal. Michael Cohen, convicted. Trump's one-time personal lawyer, Cohen was sentenced to 3 years in prison in 2018 after pleading guilty to an array of crimes, including violating campaign finance laws and lying to Congress in the Mueller investigation. He was released in 2021. Paul Manafort, convicted. Trump's former campaign chairman was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison for bank and tax fraud crimes and those related to his work as a political consultant in Ukraine. He spent just under 2 years in prison before ultimately being pardoned by Trump in 2020. George Papadopoulos, convicted. The former Trump campaign advisor was sentenced to 14 days in prison in 2018 for lying to investigators about Russian contacts. He ultimately served 12 days in prison and also received a Trump pardon in December of 2020. Roger Stone, convicted. The longtime Trump associate was sentenced to more than 3 years in prison in 2020 for crimes that included obstruction of justice, lying to Congress, and witness tampering. Trump commuted Stone's sentence in 2020 and later pardoned him. Former President Donald Trump, convicted. He has been convicted of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, alleging he was involved in a scheme that sought to cover up extramarital affairs in advance of the 2016 presidential election. The question you may have for yourself, was it them that were the criminals, or was it Donald Trump that bled onto them? But the fact still remains.
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future.
What do you think?
You wanna know why you're all fucked up? Just look at the fucking bums you hang around with.